It's 4:30 on WKYT this morning. We have the latest developments on a mass shooting at a theater in Louisiana. We'll have a full report coming up on WKYT.
We're tracking a deadly motorcycle crash out of Madison County. What police think caused the accident next?
And a shooting victim turns up at a Lexington bar overnight. How police say the victim is affecting the investigation. Much more coming up on WKYT this morning.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. It's your Friday, very early here, and we're glad you're with us. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Let's get a first look at the forecast with Micah Harris.
And the first look is a good look. Here's the deal. Starting now, and really starting yesterday afternoon for most of us, we actually are seeing dry weather throughout your weekend. I mean, it's going to be really nice. Sunday, we can't rule out a pop-up storm. But for the most part, we are going to stay dry. Looks good. Temperatures are there in the 60s, a couple of 70s down toward the Kentucky and Tennessee border, and then we hit the afternoon. Look at all that sunshine, bright blue skies, 87 degrees. We'll call it mostly sunny and warm, and that's the way it's going to be all the way through your weekend, too. It actually gets even warmer, guys, as we track off into Saturday and Sunday, where we get into the 90s. I'll have that story coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, some true summer weather. Thank you. Let's get to the news.
New this morning, we're tracking a shooting investigation in Lexington. Police say a man was shot 4 times and walked into a bar.
Police were called to Spud's Sports Pub around 1:45 this morning. Officials are still trying to piece together the details. They say that he was shot in the arms and in the abdomen and then showed up at the bar. Investigators have been trying to get more information about where the shooting happened exactly, but they say the victim is not being cooperative with them. Police are also talking to witnesses. Also new this morning, WKYT tracking a deadly overnight crash in Madison County. This happened on I-75 just after 1:30 this morning. The coroner says a motorcycle rider was driving north when he missed a curve. He was thrown off of the bike and killed. Investigators say he was wearing a helmet, but they say alcohol was a factor in the crash. His identity has not been released yet. First responders affected by the flooding in Johnson County last week are now receiving some help from some of their own.
On Thursday, we told you how Lexington police collected donations for those first responders. Last night, those donations finally arrived in Johnson County. They got to Flat Gap around 9 o'clock last night, ready to help those who have spent so much time helping others. Lexington Police Sergeant Ronald Keaton is from Johnson County and says he hopes the donations will make a difference to the emergency responders.
You know, they've been out working long hours and dealing with the job, dealing with their losses at home, and hopefully kind of take some of that stress and pressure off them.
The group took down several cars, the camper full of donations, and an ATV. Sergeant Keaton expects others to join them over the next few days. Members of a Johnson County church damaged in the flooding say that they were not able to save the building. Earlier this week, demolition crews tore down or burned what was left of Ramey Branch Gospel Church. Longtime members say they hated to see the building go, but they're now refocusing on building. They say they're helping each other too.
Everybody in that community that we went to church with has lost everything that they have. And our hearts go out more for that than for the building.
Last weekend, the church held services outdoors. For now, members say they'll worship with another church until they have a new building.
Authorities in Louisiana are trying to figure out what led a man to open fire on moviegoers at a theater. The shooting happened in Lafayette during a Thursday evening showing of the Amy Schumer comedy Trainwreck. Officials say the 58-year-old gunman killed several people and hurt others before turning the gun on himself. We'll have more on this story coming up from CBS News in a full report in just a few minutes. What police say started as an argument and a kidnapping led to a wild chase in Boyle and Mercer counties. And WKYT was the only station there when it all ended. Police say the suspect hit some police cruisers along the way before the chase ended up behind a home on Shawnee Drive in Harrodsburg. WKYT's Monique Blair actually ended up in the middle of the chase.
Shortly before 5 o'clock Thursday, Boyle County Chief Deputy Derek Robbins was driving home from work on Perryville Road when a man flagged him down, saying he thought a woman in a nearby car was being held against her will.
The gentleman stated to me that he thought the female was in distress, like she was trying to get away from the male.
Chief Deputy Robbins attempted to pull that car over.
He failed to stop.
A police chase ensued for roughly the next 10 miles.
Mercer County and Harrisburg units were trying to get in front of him to slow him down.
It was right about that time my photographer and I were on our way to a story when we caught the chase as it was happening.
Now, when we caught the chase on camera, it was happening here on North College Drive, but then just about 2 to 3 minutes after we got that video, the suspect car and several police cars turned here into the subdivision, where deputies say that's when the suspect car actually picked up his speed.
So at that point it became pretty dangerous. I felt like.
Chief Deputy Robbins says the car pulled into this yard and drove towards the rear of the house.
At that time I made the decision that I didn't want him to get back out on the road. It's 5 o'clock traffic, there's a lot of people out. And so I just pinned his car between mine and the brick wall.
Chief Deputy Robbins says the male driver tried to run, but he was tased. That didn't work, so a canine bit him. He was arrested, but also transported to a local hospital with minor injuries.
It's really scary, but I'm glad they got him.
Chief Deputy Robbins' cruiser was damaged, but nobody was hurt. The woman was not charged, as deputies determined she was being held against her will. In Harrodsburg, Monique Blair, WKYT.
That suspect has not been booked into jail because police say he was taken to the hospital as reported there first for those dog bites. Once booked, we're told that he will be facing several charges, including kidnapping.
A Letcher County gun store has a new policy that's causing a little bit of controversy. Jace Firearms in Whitesburg now has a sign that says Muslim-free gun store. The owners say they were inspired by a Florida gun store that banned Muslims after the shooting deaths of 4 Marines and a sailor in Tennessee last week. The controversy will be short-lived because the owners of Jace Firearms say they will be going out of business next month. The Kentucky Department of Parks has announced new guidelines for its gift shops and vendors regarding the Confederate flag. Flag-related items will be disappearing from those shops.
We will no longer be selling the Confederate battle flag or items with the battle flag on it. They could be hats, shirts, coffee cups, things like that.
The Kentucky State Fair Board also banned the sale or giveaway of items displaying the Confederate battle flag after current contracts expire. The Department of Parks will still allow historical items like Civil War-related books or DVDs that have the Confederate flag on them to be sold.
We have some new details this morning in a toddler's murder case out of Louisville. Louisville police say a teenage mother will be charged for killing her newborn daughter after the baby was found in a dumpster inside a home in West Louisville. Investigators believe the baby was born full-term and healthy, but they're awaiting a medical examiner's report. Police say the baby's 15-year-old mother is in the hospital right now, but will be charged with murder once she is released. Our sister station in Louisville says sources close to the investigation say that she will likely be tried as an adult. The coroner in Clay County is blaming recent storms for a man's death. It happened on Bell's Fork in that community there. The Clay County coroner says 50-year-old Dwayne Brewster was helping the owner of the home level it when he came in contact with ground wires that had been pulled up. The coroner says the home had been damaged during recent storms.
The state says it has settled a sexual harassment lawsuit against both a former and current state lawmaker. An attorney representing 3 state workers who sued said the state settled for $400,000. 2 of the workers say former state representative John Arnold touched them inappropriately. A third said she was demoted after complaining that Representative Will Corsi sexually harassed some female staffers. Arnold and Corsi did not admit guilt as part of the settlement.
And WKYT this morning just getting started. Our news time this morning is coming up on 4:39 on your Friday.
Bug bites can be nasty, but what is the best way to protect your child's delicate skin? Moms Everyday has advice when we return.
And it looks pretty good the rest of the weekend. We stay nice and dry today, hot and dry for the weekend. So here comes the heat, but we're getting rid of the rain. I'll have that latest forecast coming up.